Oh, we are live and not quite in person, but close enough. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Monday night mini medicine card reading. I am Patrick, your friendly neighborhood shaman, and we are going to do some readings with the medicine card deck, which, if you are not familiar with it, is this wonderful deck here, where each card has a different totem animal. And before we get started, I want to set us in sacred space, create an energetic container within which our readings become. Well, hello, Anna. Woo! Happy New Year. Cool. I'm going to set sacred space, basically making this whole video into a ceremony, opening up. It's like calling in the spirits to hold this energetic container around us within which we can do our magic and help us to focus on spirit coming in and inspiring us. So spirits of the earth, spirits of the air, spirits of the fire, spirits of the water, spirits of the upper world, spirits of the lower world, compassionate spirits of the middle world, the fae, the spirits of the land, the ancestors of the land. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for holding us in your love and your light. Only love gets in, only love is invited. Oh. All right, my friends, welcome, welcome. Happy New Year! As you can see, I still have my tree up. I've actually got, usually I have my Bubba the bat-winged hamster as my angel on top, but I just got back from Minnesota and we're getting ready to do some things with my mom, and she had a bunch of stuff she was getting rid of, and one of them was this corn dolly angel. I'm not sure who made it, but I love corn dollies. They're so cool. So I came home and put that on top of my tree, and I will take my tree down tomorrow, because tomorrow is the 12th day of Christmas. Tomorrow is 12th night. And in the olden days, you hear about the Yule log, right? The Yule log was basically a tree that you brought in, or I guess you could do it outside too, but it was a tree or a log that was long enough that you would burn it for 12 days. And so like the 12 days of Christmas starts at Christmas and goes for 12 days. So you start that log, the Yule log, on fire on Christmas Day, and then it burns for 12 days. And that 12th day is tomorrow, so that's when we take the tree down. Or if you are, like I was raised Catholic, it's also the Feast of Epiphany, when the wise guys ended up at the manger and stuff. So anyway, welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy New Year. I hope this year brings you all the things you are dreaming of. And we're going to start out doing some readings. The way this works, if you are new here, is the first 5 people to say yes in the comments get a 1-card reading. And so I pull a card for each person who said yes. And at the end of those 5, um, I do another reading, but made up of the 5 cards that were pulled previously. Because if you ever come to me for a reading in person or online or whatever, the main spread I do is a 5-card spread. It's called the medicine wheel spread. It's basically the 4 directions, northeast, south, and west, and center. And so I take all the individual cards, the readings that we do at first, and we put them together and we come up with a 5-card reading for the community. And I love the poeticness of the way to show how each individual weaves into the collective and how each of our individual lessons is interdependent with the lessons of everybody else. So that is the plan. Um, and before we start, I'm going to say, please share my video, especially if you enjoy it, if you get something out of it. Please share my videos. I am in the process of expanding my voice, expanding my influence, and you can help me out by sharing. And if you wish to reciprocate in a different way, I have my Venmo link in the descriptions. Anything you wish to give me is met with great gratitude and humility. I thank you so much for supporting me. Thank you for watching the videos. Number one, that supports me and my work. Um, and and if you enjoy tonight and you wish to have, hey Sylvia, if you wish to have a personal reading with me in person, online, everything I do, readings and teachings and healings, oh my, can be done over Zoom. Distance is not a problem when it comes to shamanic work and healing, etc. So check out my website, perchingwolfstudios.net. You get all that information there. You can learn all about my different shamanic services. You can sign up right there for a personal reading or healing, whatever calls to you. And stay tuned because I'm in the process of fleshing out a number of classes, a couple of new ones, some older ones. For many years, I was teaching a year-long monthly class where we would get together one day a month and we would explore a different aspect of shamanism. And so when that year was up, it's like you spent a whole year on the path of the shaman and got to see not just the lessons and how they affect you, but how they intersect and influence the rest of your life, right? It's about living. Shamanism is a way of life. It's not about some philosophy. It's not about techniques. It's about a way of living and a way of approaching. It's really about your personal relationship with the universe. And I took a break from that for a year or two, and I am going to come back this coming year, and I think I'm going to still teach that, but in 6-month increments, so that people aren't needing to make a full year commitment, and that might make it easier for people to actually stick with it, etc. So stay tuned, watch for that. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. That helps me out. Like my videos, I have over 6 years worth of readings and ceremonies and songs and all stories and all kinds of things. And I've got all kinds of ideas for new things coming up too. So stay tuned. Anyway, so If you're new, if you're coming in later, the way this works is all you need to do is say yes in the comments, and you will get a 1-card reading. So far, we've only got one person, so it might be a short night. And if you are watching this on repeat, like in a replay, it's still okay. You haven't missed out on anything. All you need to do is choose a number between 1 and 5, and then listen to that card. Listen for that card when I get to it. And I promise that the universe has this amazing way of weaving in, even if that card was not pointed directly at you. If that's the number you choose, intuitively, that's the number that popped in your head or whatever, however your practice is, then the universe will use that to bring your message to you, whatever it is. Even if it's months or years from now. That is the beauty of the universe. Because every moment is eternal. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the first card, and then we'll see if anyone else wants any cards. It might be a short night. Okay. Okay, shuffle some more. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Oh, awesome. Okay. I see a couple other people have popped on. I still have 4 spots left. If you would like a 1-card reading, all you need to do is say yes in the comments. And the next 4 people to do so will get a card. Meanwhile, we are starting with card number 1 for Anna. And that card is Raven. Raven is basically the void. Raven is all potential. Raven is the deepest, bibbity, bobbity, booiest magic you can have. I grew up with that saying about with God, all things are possible. And Raven is an embodiment of that. It's kind of like basic law of attraction, like Abraham Hicks says, if you can think it, if you can visualize it, if you can feel it, you can become, or have anything. Unlimited. Because Raven, that blue, black, shimmering light of Raven's feathers is like the blue, black, shimmery night. Like when we look up into the stars and we think of infinity, right? To infinity and beyond. That's what we think of as like the night sky, the stars, the infinite vastness of space. That is the medicine of Raven. And so within that darkness, right, that darkness is not evil. The darkness is the womb of the cosmic mother. That darkness is the womb that holds all potential, every possible potential, every possible future, every possibility, every probability is contained within that darkness of the void. Merry Christmas, Curtis. And the thing with Raven Raven is kind of like the yin yang in a way, because Raven is not only that darkness of full potential. Um, there are so many stories that tie Raven to creation. There are so many creation myths that include Raven. The best known one probably being Raven stealing fire from the sun, right? Before he did that, the earth was in darkness. Everyone was stumbling over everyone else. Um, and at the time, Raven was this beautiful white bird, immaculately white, and yet no one could see him because it was dark, it was black, there was no light. And he had the most beautiful singing voice. But when he saw the plight of the earth and how lack of light and heat was really a problem, he flew to the sun and he stole embers from the fire of the sun. And he flew them back to the earth to bring light to the earth. And in doing so, as he flew, the embers in his beak blew back and colored his feathers to this pitch black. And it also went down his throat, making him unable to sing. And if you've ever heard a raven, it's like they basically croak. And so he sacrificed those things for the betterment of all our relations on the earth, bringing light and heat to the earth so that we could actually see, so we could actually heal, right? There's an episode of Xena where Zeus chains up Prometheus, right? It's that old myth, Prometheus. Raven is basically the American version of Prometheus, because Prometheus was the one that brought light and fire to the earth. And what was interesting about that episode is that tied to that light and that heat is healing. And when Zeus chained up Prometheus, the healing went away. And but it was also, it's interesting. It's like the whole, give me a second here. I'm trying to remember now, because the thing was, it wasn't just the healing of, oh, I'm sick, oh, now I'm better. It kept people from dying, people who needed to die. It basically created immortality. And so all of these bad guys who were dying, were in the process of dying, when they chained up Prometheus, they stopped dying. And so they were taking over the earth, and the people who were sick couldn't heal, like couldn't go to that eternal rest that they needed to heal their souls, if that makes sense. And so along with that heat and that light that Raven brings from the sun is healing, it's clarity, it's discernment, right? Even though Raven is black, like the void, the depth of the void, right? You look at that blackness, and it's not just a flat surface, right? There's depth. You can look into it. And from that depth of darkness, Raven brings the light. And so Raven is the one on that cutting edge, that creative edge of creation, of things being brought from the darkness into the light. And so Raven is about that power of manifesting, bringing into the light of your life, anything you can imagine in your dreams, in your imagination, in the void, anything you can picture, anything you can think up, anything that you can feel. That's how law of attraction works, right? You focus, energy goes where energy flows where consciousness goes. So you focus on your dreams. If you focus on what you want, it can't help but come to you. That is the power of Raven. And so when Raven comes up, it's like the limits are off. You can literally do and create anything. Unrestrained. And the thing is, like I said earlier, every moment, every single moment is eternal. Every single moment is new. And so even if you if you manifest something you thought you wanted, and it turns out not to be what you wanted, the next moment is a new creation, and you can reach into that void and pull out the corrected, the addendum of what it was you thought you wanted, right? You are never stuck. The realm of the seen rests upon the infinite vastness of the unseen, right? And it's the darkness that gives birth to the light. So Anna, like practice unlimited thought. Like I've said in the past, it's like dream bigger. Whatever you're dreaming, whatever you're desiring, dream bigger. Right? I've been realizing a lot for myself recently that a lot of the times when I'm manifesting something, I'm coming from the place of survival, like the place of just getting by. Oh crap, I need to get through this thing, right? This is what I need to get through this thing. I'm not thinking further ahead to say, this is what I need in order to thrive, right? So like Ramtha says, don't manifest the money for the shoes, manifest the shoes. Think about what it is you really want, and then settle for nothing less. Because this universe is frequency. This universe is an illusion, and everything is possible. Everything. So don't limit yourself, don't settle, okay? And I see more people on. That's the only person who said yes. If you would like a one card reading, please say yes in the comments. I have room for 4 more people. Otherwise, tonight's going to be a really short night. I suppose I could start singing and do puppet shows. Puppet. This is Bubba the bat-winged hamster. I could tell you some Bubba tales. I've actually written some epic hamster poetry. Awesome, Sylvia. You just didn't want to hear any more hamster tales, right? Threaten the hamster tales, and they'll come out of the woodwork. All right, so card number 2. Let me shuffle again. It's a brand new year. It's a brand new moment. It's a brand new day. I have no clue what I'm doing. I have no clue what's going to happen. We're just going to play it by art, by heart. Play it by art. That'd be a pretty good logo. Playing it by art. No, okay. Started to pull one, and they're like, no, uh. Oh, you do want hamster tails. Okay. All right. So card number 2 for Sivia is we have raccoon in reverse. Raccoon, for such a simple, goofy little character, is some pretty complex medicine. And the thing I'm being drawn to right now is the mask, right? And you know, we grow up with a series of boxes and containers and expectations that we're supposed to fit into, right? And each of those you could call it could be a mask, because it's like, I remember, like, all right, everyone, we're going to grandma's house, so it's time to put on the grandma mask. You know, or we're going to church, put on the church mask, put on the one that's proper for church. And with our focus, our society's focus so much on the outside, right? On living up to outside expectations, living up to outside bars, etc. We never find out who is under those masks. And so we grow up and we learn what's the proper mask at the proper time. And in that way, the mask becomes a wall. The mask becomes a barrier between you and reality. And not only that, it becomes a barrier between your world and who you really are, right? And so it's important to find out who is underneath that mask. No matter what mask you're wearing, it's the same person, the same common denominator underneath that. Neurodivergent masks, yes, absolutely. You know, it's like trying to be someone you're not in order to keep the peace, right? It's like you sacrifice your own well-being, your own peace, in order to keep the peace around you. And ultimately, that just does not work. Everything balances out, and if you're off balance and not presenting your true self will eventually come out in a way. Yeah, neurodivergent, in order to function normally, right? You put on the normal mask. You don't let anyone see what's behind you. You don't let anyone see who you really are, because what if they don't accept you? Oh, there's something there, you know, and this comes with a whole kind of Judeo-Christian born in sin kind of thing, where from the day you're born, you're told that you're a sinner. You're told there's something wrong with you, that you have to atone for it, that you have to live up to something. And so there's the mask. It's like trying to be normal, pretend like you're normally a normal functioning person. No matter who you are underneath it, you have this mask, this costume that you wear, special clothes to wear so that you're acceptable, so that you're not threatening to the norm, right? And so, especially with raccoon coming up in reverse, it's time to look underneath that mask. It's time to stop hiding from yourself, right? The mask itself is not wrong. The mask itself is not bad. It's like everything else, it's a tool. And it's up to us whether that mask will become a barrier, protect, a wall behind which we can hide because we don't feel good about ourselves and who we are. And so we present this mask, this image of perfection or being right or whatever it is, no matter what it is underneath. But when there's nothing underneath the mask to support that image eventually is going to crumble. And so we have to find out who it is who is wearing the mask, right? It reminds me of Dr. Wayne Dyer used to talk about when he was a professor. One of the assignments he gave his students was they had to write a paragraph about who they were, but they couldn't use any labels. You couldn't say like, I'm an artist, or I'm a singer, or I'm an architect, or I'm a student, because those are all masks. Those are all labels. Those all limit who you are. And that's one of the things he always said too, was if you label me, you limit me. And so it's kind of like exploring behind the mask, right? Who is it that's feeling this? When you feel something, when you notice something, when you hear something, it's like, ask yourself, who is hearing this? Who is feeling this? And that is the wearer of the mask. And that's the part to explore. That is the part I'm trying to come up with some more practical how to actually address it and utilize that. But it's like it kind of goes back to what Mr. Rogers always said. You are perfect just the way you are. Good afternoon, Nicole. Oh, thank you. Love my tree. Crap, what was I saying? So I get in trouble when I start reading the comments. So like Mr. Rogers said, you are perfect just the way you are. There is nothing wrong with you because in your essence, you are divine energy. You are divine light. You are love. You are joy. You are perfection. There is nothing to live up to. That is who you are underneath the mask. And so to have the courage to let go of the familiar, the mask, which is your beliefs and your thoughts and all that stuff, and start to explore that which is that which can be known only through experience, that which cannot be labeled, that which you cannot put into words. That is who you truly are. That divine light, that divine frequency, and when that divine heart. And when you can come from the heart, live your life from the heart, then those masks become interfaces, right? Oh, I'm going to this meeting. Okay, I'll put on this mask because I know who I am underneath it. It's like a person. It's like being multilingual, right? You go to Germany, you don't start speaking French. You go to Germany, you know how to speak German. You speak German so that you can communicate. The language is the interface. The mask, depending on who you're talking to, what group you're in, or whatever, the mask is the language. The mask is the interface. And it takes nothing away from who you are. It's another language to connect you with others rather than to hide you from others, right? And so play with that. Play with, who am I really? Beyond labels, beyond descriptions. What is my vibration? Can I feel my vibration? Like Seth always talked about how every individual has a different feeling tone. And see if you can drop into that tone that is uniquely yours, that baseline tone that is uniquely yours, that at the same time makes you unique from all others. At the same time, it's what connects you to all others, right? It's that interdependence that I mentioned earlier. And do it with whimsy and vigor and impishness, right? Raccoon is nothing if not rascally, right? Exactly. Let the uniqueness shine out. And ultimately, and I'm speaking as these things are coming to me, so part of me gets uncomfortable because I haven't had a chance to really think out what I'm saying. But ultimately, the more authentic you become, the higher frequency you become, the clearer of a mirror you become for other people. And so masks aren't even necessary because others will see in you through their own mask. They will only be able to perceive in you what they perceive in themselves. And so by being that unique shiningness, you're doing the world a huge favor by giving it another portal. Like mirrors are always seen as portals. There's another portal for people to find themselves again. And what they feel or perceive in you has nothing to do with you because they're looking through their own masks, right? And so being your unique self, absolutely. And that is it. So they feel comfortable letting their uniqueness shine. It's like that Marianne Williamson quote about how it's not our darkness that we fear, it's that we are powerful beyond measure. And at the end, it's like when you, I'm going to paraphrase because it's a huge long quote, but basically, you are meant to shine like the child of God that you are And when you do, you give others permission to shine as well, right? That it's not just for some, everyone is a child of God. Everyone is meant to shine. And by you shining your light, you give permission for the others to find their light. So, you got this. All right. To-do list 112. You wanted a reading. Okay. Anyone else that's come in? I've got 2 spots after this. If you would like a 1-card reading, all you need to do is say yes in the comments. And so, to-do list, this is your card. You want to know about your marriage. We'll see what comes up. It doesn't always, the cards tend to give you what you need to hear or need to know, whether it has anything to do with your question or not, because our questions tend to be a small facet of what's actually going on with us. So, but we'll see what comes up. That's just my attempt at what do they call it? Managing expectations. It's something I learned as a reader. All right. To-do list. Card number 3 is Deer in reverse. And I'm just going to tell you what deer medicine is, and I'm going to let you draw the connections between what's going on in your relationship, in your marriage. Whenever someone requests cards for their relationship, I always point out that I can't necessarily say what's going on with the other person, right? But the cards that come up are a reflection of you and the part you play in this relationship, because it's a mutual healing, right? Give me a second. I'm trying to think of how to put this into words. Because the readings ultimately, every lesson, every life lesson is not about changing someone else or changing circumstances. It's about changing yourself, adapting yourself, shifting yourself to the point where you can accept what you deserve, what you desire, right? So, Deer is about compassion, especially self-compassion, right? Deer walks around with those huge old Bambi eyes, like those anime eyes, looking at the world through the eyes of a child, right? It's about gentleness. It's about softness. And in reverse, Deer can be well, you know, Deer is okay. There's a spectrum of deerness, right? From the smallest deer that are like this big to the moose, right? And deer, when deer medicine is off balance, it can be anywhere on that spectrum. It could be the littlest deer running away from every little twig that snaps in the forest, to moose who bulldozes everything that seems like a threat. Um, and I'm sure you lie somewhere in between those extremes. But the medicine here, the reason deer is in reverse, because what is really being called for is compassion. And not even necessarily compassion for your partner as much as compassion for yourself, right? It's that old cliche about how you can't love someone else until you love yourself, right? And it's the namaste thing, right? The divine in me sees the divine in you. And until you can find that divinity within yourself, you cannot see it in someone else. Um, and so there's this need for compassion, giving yourself a break, realizing that everything you have ever come through, you have survived. You have 100%, a record of 100% of surviving, coming through every possible challenge you have come through, and knowing that you are divine by nature, that none of those things, no matter what it is, no matter what you did, no matter what anyone else did, nothing can take away from you that sanctity, that sovereignty of your own soul and spirit. Nothing can take away your godliness. And so to return to that core of who you are, forgive yourself, right? It's that thing about you have always acted as best you could with what you knew at the time, right? And we're all heroes of our own story. And so I know everything you have ever done has been for what you thought was the highest good. And so give yourself the benefit of the doubt. Give yourself, okay, this is really different. But if you're still here, and anyone else that's watching right now, I want you to close your eyes, and take a deep breath in, hold it for a moment, let it go. Take another deep breath in and hold it for a moment. Let it go. And I want you to take your third eye in the middle of your forehead as though it was one of your other eyes, and open it up and look into your imagination. And I want you to find yourself in this little wooden glade, maybe leaning against a tree or a rock. And as you're sitting there, there's all this mud and all this dirt around you. There is all this, it's like you feel like you're in a storm, like you're covered with clowns, like Pigpen from Charlie Brown. There's this constant cloud of clutter and confusion around you. And that's okay. Just be with it. Just sit. You're perfect. You are safe. And then look to the other end of the glade and see, emerging from the trees slowly comes this deer, this beautiful doe with the biggest eyes, the biggest ears. And she approaches you slowly, hesitantly, but she keeps approaching. And she gets to right in front of you. And she looks at you eye to eye. her face right in front of your face. And she looks you in the eye. And I want you to look back into her eyes, the depth, that molasses, deep, dark, loving glance of divinity. And I want you to feel the calm. I want you to feel the magic of just being in existence. I want you to look into her eyes and to not only see, but to feel the love just emanating from her heart to yours, through her eyes into your eyes. As you realize that she sees through you, she sees all the things that you've ever done, quote unquote, wrong. And yet she loves you unconditionally because she knows that who you are is not what you have done. And she sees the divine in you because she knows the divine in her own heart. And as you continue to look back into her eyes, feel your heart just growing with this feeling of love for her, and realize that she is the perfect reflection of your love for yourself. If she can love you despite all the things that you've done, then who are you not to love yourself? And as she continues to look at you with these Davy Jones sparkling eyes, you all of a sudden from the periphery, your peripheral vision, you realize the storms are no longer there. The clouds of dust and confusion are no longer there. They never were. It's all been an illusion. It's all been in your mind. You are still as perfect and unblemished as you were the day you were born. At your core, the soul of you, nothing can touch you. Nothing can damage you. Nothing can even leave a mark or a dent on who you are. And from this perspective, you can look back at all the bumps in the road, all the should haves and the regrets, and you can see it smoothing out. And what once were pitfalls, were tripwires for you to fall down, become solid ground upon which you can stand because of the wisdom that has come from every experience. All of a sudden, you can see yourself reflected in her eyes. You can see that perfect being, that immaculate spirit of who you really are in the reflection of the mirror of her eyes. And you can no longer doubt your worthiness to be happy, to be joyful. You can no longer doubt your worthiness to have or to be everything you dream of. And as you're feeling restored in this feeling of love, of purpose, of light, she turns softly from you, knowing that her job is done for now. She walks slowly back to the edge of the glade, looking back at you with even more love in her eyes than before. She disappears within the trees. And as she fades, so does the scenery, as you become aware again of the room you're sitting in, of the chair or the floor or the ground, wherever you are, supporting you. Become aware of the temperature on your skin, the sounds around you. As you move back into your physical body, you can wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, and tap on your shoulders, on your legs, bringing yourself back fully present. And when you're ready, at your own pace, you can open your eyes, coming back fully awake and fully aware. Welcome back, everybody. I don't know if to-do list is still on here or not, but I hope whoever is watching this got something from that. That was really different. Thank you. My guides are awesome. And I am, since I haven't gotten anyone else to ask for a card, we've got 3 rather than the 5 that I normally do. But I'm feeling like maybe, oh, hi, Chelsea. You are so welcome. Instead of doing a 5-card community reading tonight, I think I will do a 3-card community reading with the 3 cards we have. Tonight was a little bit different from normal. And we're just going to roll with it. And we'll call it a night a little bit early. Oh, I'm so glad you got something from that. And so, those 3 cards that we pulled earlier show up. Sometimes I do a 3-card reading. Sometimes it's past, present, future, or it can be what you need to know, where you are right now, and the challenge you're facing. It can be an infinite number of things. But I like I mentioned earlier, the normal spread that I do is 5 cards. It's like the 4 directions and center. And so if you think of this as the center, like in a normal reading, there would be a card up here and there'd be a card down here. So this is kind of like the cross section of a normal reading. And so we have, wait a second, let me make sure. So we have that east, which is air, which is mental beliefs. It's also kind of the masculine side. Hello and good evening. Hi. We've got the west, which is the water, which is the emotional realm, the more feminine side. And then we have spirit in the center, the hub of the wheel that holds it all together. And so taking those individual cards from the individuals in our community, putting them together in a 3-card spread for the community at large. In the east, the place of air and the mental realm, we have Raven, the one that holds all potential. Like I said earlier, the bibbitiest, bobbitiest, buoyiest magic you can possibly get. This is fairy godmother stuff. Turning pumpkins into coaches and mice into footmen and creating a ballroom dress out of nothing, right? It's like everything is possible. This is your unbound, untethered imagination and ability to create, right? In the West, if we jump across to the West, water in the emotional realm, we have deer in reverse. And even though we believe certain things are possible, we believe in the infinite boundaries of the universe, we believe in our infinite power to create, we're having a hard time feeling it, right? This is the mental realm, this is the emotional realm. And so, though we believe things are possible, we don't feel worthy. We can't, like the Namaste, we can't see our own divine light. We can't feel the worthiness to manifest everything that we want. So again, in reverse, deer is about compassion. And there's a story that goes with deer that I love this story so much, that one day, Great Spirit on top of his mountain was so happy and joyful. It was such a glorious day that he invited all the woodland creatures to come and join him at the top of his mountain to celebrate life, to celebrate creation. But at the base of his mountain lived a troll. And all of the creatures were afraid of this troll that lived at the bottom of the mountain. All that is but deer, who, so excited to go party with the Great Spirit, comes bounding in. She gets to the base of the mountain, and the troll jumps out and roars in her face. Well, deer, rather than rearing up to fight or running away in fear, just stopped and just kind of cocks her head, looks him in the eye. It's like, why are you so hurt? Who was it that hurt you so badly? And the troll, who survived on fear and conflict, found none of those in deer. And so he just faded away. And so it was deer, by looking with those big Bambi eyes through the facade of what was being, hello, Jeeves, whatever the facade, whatever the image that was being projected, she saw through it, because she did that namaste, the divine in me sees the divine in you. And underneath all that pain and fear and bravado, she saw the heart of a fellow being that was in pain. And by offering that compassion, she actually freed the troll from that pain, and he faded away. He basically ascended. And it was through compassion that deer, the gentlest of creatures, was able to open the path for all the other animals to approach Great Spirit on his mountain. It wasn't through beating down the enemy. It wasn't might makes right. It was through the compassion of seeing heart to heart someone who was in pain, someone who was in need, and becoming the light they needed in order to see who they were. And so as you're going through your current life and those trolls jump up, those fears, those old issues jump up and roar in your face and make you afraid, give yourself the moment to take a breath and look at that issue, be with that issue, and say, what is it that someone did to hurt you? talking to yourself, and say, you are allowed to feel this in my body. And by showing no resistance to that issue, to that pain, that's what healed it. Because all those issues are a younger part of you that was not allowed to feel how they felt in another moment. And so by seeing, being able to see, have that, hold that compassion for yourself, see the divinity within you, all of a sudden, that doorway opens up, that pathway opens up to Great Spirit on top of his mountain where all things are possible, right? Because you are part of all of creation. You are not outside of creation. You are the same earth, air, fire, and water that makes up every other living being. You are not separate. There is no such thing as separation. And when you realize that worthiness, just a little bit, like even like in the Bible, Jesus mentions the faith the size of a mustard seed, right? It's just that willingness to see things differently, that willingness to entertain the idea that you might be worthy of what you're dreaming of, that opens that door, right? And in the center, the hub of the wheel, we have raccoon. And again, there's the mask. It's like, what masks are we hiding behind? Are we hiding behind the mask of unworthiness, the mask of sin? Oh, I'm such a sinner. Oh, I've done everything wrong. I don't deserve it. There's something basically wrong with me. Those things are absolutely false. And when you can start to see the truth of your being, those masks fall away and you become aware intimately with who is the person, who is the being beneath the masks, who is the one wearing the masks, right? And with raccoon is, when a raccoon comes up, it tends to be a card of service, right? Oh, hello, Kim. You know, I'm just doing 3 cards tonight because that's all who showed up. So I'm following through with that. But I'll pull a card for your daughter later. Okay. Don't tell anyone. So raccoon is, in my mind, the Robin Hood of the animal kingdom, because there's this rascally, he knows the rules, knows the laws so well that he knows how to get around them. He knows how to like Robin Hood. There, you can't trap him. He can get out of any trap. It's trickster. Raccoon has a lot of trickster medicine, and it's that noble thief like Robin Hood. Stand and deliver! Ha ha ha! He loves his job. He loves being an outlaw. He loves uprooting normalcy. Is that right? The right word? And so when you start to have that compassion for yourself, you start to realize that when you're living from your heart, you can do no harm, you can do no wrong, especially when you're living in this place of infinity, of infinite potential and manifestations. There is always a way out. There is always a way round or through whatever people are trying to throw at you, whatever cages or boxes or whatever. There's always a way through. And it's done with this sense of joviality. Is that a word? Joviality. Jovial. Joviality, that's the word. And the thing is, so raccoon, the reason I think of them as the Robin Hood is because when they go scavenging for food, they don't eat it where they find it. They bring it home and make sure everybody has enough to eat. And so there's this sense of community. There's a sense of might be stealing from the rich to give to the poor, but it's like this distribution of love, distribution of resources, that equanimity of giving everyone what they need. And, being an outlaw if it need to be, right? And the point that I'm trying to get to is that when you believe you are worthy, when you know your worthiness, and you have all the potential of your imagination, the ability to manifest everything you desire, anything you can think of, it's not just for yourself. You are becoming your best self. And by becoming your best self, you serve your community. You don't do things in a vacuum. You become the best version of yourself, and that ripples out and improves everything in the world. It touches everything in the world. Every person is bettered because of your betterment, right? When we all do better, we all do better. And I've used that analogy before, like, if you think of a spider, if there's a spider web that's kind of horizontal, right? You take a spider web and you turn it horizontal. If you pick one point on that spider web and you lift it, it doesn't all come up at the same rate, but just by lifting that one point, every point on that web is lifted. Every time you take another step toward your own divinity, toward your own infinite potential, you are literally lifting humankind. You are literally lifting the world with you. And lifting is not the right word because it's effortless. It's more about uncovering what's actually there rather than chaining something and lifting people. It's like, it's the hot air balloon, right? Your spirit is like a hot air balloon. When left alone, it rises. And when you drop all the extra ballast, it rises. And in its rising, everything rises with it. When your spirit rises, everything else rises with you. The tide raises all ships. So, oofda. All right, I think that is it. So we're ending a little bit early tonight. Thank you for allowing me to roll with the flow and to go with my guides and do just 3 cards tonight rather than the normal 5. Thank you for being here, for watching. Oh, you're so welcome, Sylvia. You're so welcome. This is my pleasure. This is my joy. So again, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have over 6 years worth of videos that you can watch. If you need another reading, I've got tons of readings. If you feel like you want to sit in sacred space, I have a number of ceremonies, and I'm going to have a lot other things coming up in the new year. So stay tuned. Like my videos. That helps me out. That helps other people find me. And again, please share my video. If there's someone you know that needs some guidance, or if you heard anything tonight that made you think of someone else, send it to them. Um, that's when someone pops, that's how I work. When someone pops into my head like that, it's like, oh, okay, I need to talk to that person. I need to bring that awareness to that person or whatever. Um, and if you wish to share, if you wish to reciprocate in another way, I do have my Venmo link in the description below this video. And anything you wish to give to support your friendly neighborhood shaman, I am so deeply grateful for. Um, that's what we do. We exchange energy. We're walking each other home. And so if you feel moved, I humbly receive whatever you wish to give me to support me. This is my day job. So whatever comes in goes right to me and my path and doing this work. So, and if you would like to have a personal reading, or even if you would like, I also have gift certificates. So if you have someone else you would like to purchase a reading for, you can do that. You can check out my website, perchingwolfstudios.net. You can find out more about me. You can see the different services I offer, the different shamanic services, readings and teachings and healings. Oh my! And you can sign up for a session with me right from my website. Readings and healings, and I'm going to have some new classes and some old classes coming up, putting the final little tweaks on them. So stay tuned. I will have those up and posted soon. And I also do one-on-one mentoring. If you're wanting to explore your path or explore a shamanic path, etc., please approach me. I love answering questions. I love talking to people about this world, about this life, and shamanism. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And if you feel resonating with me, I would love, it would be an honor to have you as a mentoring student and to help you on your path. Not to become a carbon copy of me, but to use my experience in shamanism on the spiritual path to help you find your own unique path of your own unique heart. And I think that is it. So I hope you will come back next week, spread the word, share the video, and I thank you so very much for spending time with me, for taking an hour or so out of your evening to spend time. Happy New Year! I hope this new year finds all your dreams and desires coming true in the most splendiferous way. And until I see you again, know that I love you, that I see you, that I honor you. Have a wonderful night and a wonderful week. Go shining.